His eyes passed lightly over Mr. Power's good-looking face. Greyish over the ears. "Madame," smiling, I smile back. A smile goes a long way. Only politeness, perhaps. Nice fellow. Who knows is that true about the woman he keeps? Not pleasant for the wife. Yet they say, who was it told me, there is no carnal. You would imagine that would get played out pretty quick. Yes, it was Crofton met him one evening, bringing her a pound of rump steak. What is this, she was? Barmaid and Juries, or the Moira was it? They passed under the huge cloaked Liberator's form. Martin Cunningham nudged Mr. Power. "Of the tribe of Reuben," he said. A tall, black-bearded figure, bent on a stick, stumping round the corner of Elvery's elephant house, showed them a curved hand open on his spine. "In all his pristine beauty," Mr. Power said. Mr. Dedalus looked after the stumping figure and said mildly, "The devil break the hasp of your back." Mr. Power, collapsing in laughter, shaded his face from the window as the carriage passed Gray's statue. "We have all been there," Martin Cunningham said broadly. His eyes met Mr. Bloom's eyes. He caressed his beard, adding, "Well, nearly all of us." Mr. Bloom began to speak with sudden eagerness to his companions' faces. "That's an awfully good one that's going the rounds about Reuben J and the son." "About the boatman?" Mr. Power asked. "Yes, isn't it awfully good?" "What is that?" Mr. Dedalus asked. "I didn't hear it." "There was a girl in the case," Mr. Bloom began, "and he determined to send him to the Isle of Man out of harm's way. But when they were both—" "What?" Mr. Dedalus asked. "That confirmed bloody hobbledehoy, is it?" "Yes," Mr. Bloom said. "They were both on the way to the boat, and he tried to drown." "Drown Barabbas!" Mr. Dedalus cried. "I wish to Christ he did." Mr. Power sent a long laugh down his shaded nostrils. "No," Mr. Bloom said. "The son himself." Martin Cunningham thwarted his speech rudely. "Reuben J and the son were piking it down the quay, next the river on the way to the Isle of Man boat, and the young chiseler suddenly got loose and over the wall with him into the Liffey." "For God's sake," Mr. Dedalus exclaimed in fright. "Is he dead?" "Dead!" Martin Cunningham cried. "Not he. A boatman got a pole and fished him out by the slack of the breeches, and he was landed up to the father on the quay, more dead than alive. Half the town was there." "Yes," Mr. Bloom said, "but the funny part is, and Reuben J, Martin Cunningham said, gave the boatman a florin for saving his son's life." A stifled sigh came from under Mr. Power's hand. "Oh, he did," Martin Cunningham affirmed. "Like a hero, a silver florin." "Isn't it awfully good?" Mr. Bloom said eagerly. 1 and 8 pence too much," Mr. Dedalus said dryly. Mr. Power choked laugh, burst quietly in the carriage. Nelson's pillar. 8 plums a penny! 8 for a penny! "We had better look a little serious," Martin Cunningham said. Mr. Dedalus sighed. "Ah, then indeed," he said. "Poor little Paddy wouldn't grudge us a laugh. Many a good one he told himself." "The Lord forgive me," Mr. Power said, wiping his wet eyes with his fingers. "Poor Paddy. I little thought a week ago when I saw him last, and he was in his usual health, that I'd be driving after him like this. He's gone from us." "As decent a little man as ever wore a hat," Mr. Dedalus said. "He went very suddenly." "Breakdown," Martin Cunningham said. "Heart." He tapped his head sadly. "Blazing face, red hot. Too much John Barleycorn, cure for a red nose. Drink like the devil till it turns Adelaide. A lot of money he spent colouring it." Mr. Power gazed at the passing houses with rueful apprehension. "He had a sudden death, poor fellow," he said. "The best death," Mr. Bloom said. Their wide open eyes looked at him. "No suffering," he said. "A moment and all is over, like dying in sleep." No one spoke. Dead side of the street this. Dull business by day, land agents, temperance hotel, Falconer's Railway Guide, Civil Service College, Guilds, Catholic Club, the industrious blind. Why? Some reason, sun or wind. At night, too, chummies and slavies, under the patronage of the late Father Matthew, foundation stone for Parnell. Breakdown, heart. White horses with white frontlet plumes came round the rotunda corner, galloping. A tiny coffin flashed by. In a hurry to bury, a mourning coach, unmarried, black for the married, piebald for the bachelors, done for a nun.